And I also didn't have a lot of conviction about removal of fuel subsidy for a long time. But over time, I agreed that the corruption there, the voluminous, the exaggerated output. I mean, the NPC numbers weren't making sense to anybody. But by then, we are mixed up with the fact that we are borrowing, we're using debt, we're using excess crude account. We're taking from every angle we can find in the name of fuel subsidy. And I put that in the name of fuel subsidy because I also know that those numbers were highly exaggerated or highly inflated. Um, my position was always that there are some systemic things you need to do before you do certain things. So first, and I remember it was on Channel Steve, I said, first, and the first answers you need to figure out is inflation, food inflation. How do you tackle food inflation? Because if you take, if people are able to eat at a decent price, then definitely you are certain that to some extent they will be able to endure whatever pain that will come from the removal of fuel subsidy. So we have not been able to have an holistic plan. I saw that the president he released a plan for food security, which I mean I still have some lot of misgivings about that, but it also means that they're thinking that we can't really do this change. We can't really provide any form of palliative or support to any Nigerians without not tackling food inflation. So that's my first problem. The second thing I also mentioned is that the political class must act in solidarity with the people. Acting in solidarity with the people means that you show that you feel the pain of the people. It's not as if you continue your own luxurious life. Either you are trying to buy 40 vehicles, either the Speaker of the House is still moving around in private jets. You know, you're not trying to, there's no, people begin to see public service from a position of service. You know, Nigeria is not rich enough for the luxurious life of its leaders. So those are the kind of things that we need to put forward first. Then after you've done that, you now have to understand public transport systems. Those are the things that take a lot of money from Nigeria. How do you subsidize? How do you provide subsidized public transport systems? And that's why I was always clear about my position that subsidy needed to go, but the speed and the haste that subsidy was removed means that government will do a lot of catch up, and it's really not just helpful. A lot of these things could have been well thought out. For the short term, I'm thinking around how do we also even have a proper digital register of Nigerians, because we're going to give out 500 billion naira to, I mean, what's our, we say we have a register that we mean for social register, those, I still don't feel okay that that's a proper system. A proper system means that every single Nigerian is on a single platform, and you can really go there and figure out who needs, because of income levels, you can find out who actually needs this palliative, which families need this palliative. Not always walk into a village and randomly pick 5 or 6 people and say, these are the poorest of the poor. What happens to the urban poor? What happens to the semi-urban poor? Do they get calculated or counted among in those situations? So those are the things for me. We have not applied an holistic framework to all of these things. We just want to keep doing hard dog stuff, thinking it's going to hard up at the end of the day. And you will see, by the time this whole palliative distribution cane happens, you know, it will still come with a whole lot of stories that who gets this 8,000 naira. Number one, the 8,000 naira payment is very offensive. It means that a whole household gets 48,000 naira, you know, within a period of 6 months. If you have an household of 5 people, you know, that means you're giving just the person within the household 10,000 naira over a 6-month period. What exactly is the meaning of that? You know, that is clearly an abuse. And that doesn't even make sense in any way. So